welcome to Star Wars Geek Girl. I'm Zoe, and we are back with Lizzy.
Hello. I muted to cough, and it was like,
Oh,
hi. Okay, hi.
yes, we're back, with many Star Wars things. We this week premiered the Bad Batch season 3, the final season. Uh, Sadly, but
Nah, they're lying.
they're like stage
This is
1 is
our
denial.
no. This is our professional yap episode about Bad Batch.
Professional yappers. I mean, we always yap. We are always professionally yapping.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so the Bad Batch season 3 premiered with 3 episodes. Confined, Paths Unknown, and Shadows of Tantus were the 3 episodes. Spoiler free thoughts, I guess. I loved all of them so much. They were
Crazy.
all they were all really good.
Yes.
I think the first one might have been my favorite. Think maybe the third one, but they were all amazing. It was a really great step back into the show and to reunite with these characters after a while, and I am so scared. I am so scared about what's gonna happen next, but also very excited for the rest of the season.
Yes. I think, well, not that I didn't like, but I think of the three, I think the episode 1 was my least favorite.
What?
Well, again, no, I liked it, I loved it, but of the three, I think I really liked the third one, um, the most. Um, but I thought it was funny because I was telling Zoe earlier, my apartment, which yippee, I have an apartment.
Way to rub it
uh,
in. Wow.
no, no, no. I was just trying to explain how adult I am. No. But my apartment's all windows, in that, from because the kitchen and the living room is attached, and it's just the wall is windows, which is great. And reduces electricity bill because you don't have to turn on the light, blah blah blah, right? But there's too much light, and even our curtains that we got don't really help that much. Um, so I watched the first episode last night, and it was fine because it was it was nighttime, so there was no need. And then we watched episode 2, and I was like, okay, cool, cool, cool. Still can't see anything. And then it was I didn't read what the titles were yet, and we were getting into the third episode, and I was like, I really hope that this I really hope this episode has more lights to it. And then the thing showed up. It was like Shadows of Tantus. I was like, great. That doesn't that does not sound like it's gonna be very light. It was so perfectly timed.
That's
But
so funny.
but yeah, so I need to get better curtains.
Um,
I think I like the third episode better.
yeah.
I'm still sad about tech. And just, going into these episodes, I was like, he's not even going to be there. Why? Why do I even
Hey,
bother?
there's that mysterious assassin clone guy that stands around.
Which he looks like. Did you watch, the original Hellboy?
No.
Okay, well, to people who did watch the original Hellboy, it's very good. But, um, there's one guy, and he's an assassin, he's like a cyborg, I guess. Um, and he looks exactly like that to me. Obviously not exactly, but he looks so much like that. It's kind of funny. But his costume looks really cool. Just all black.
Yes. Um, yeah, I think for me, I mean, the third episode would be very close for a favorite, but it was, the first one I just thought was, just really well done. Like there were some really really cool like cinematic choices I liked in that first episode, and I think it was like the perfect way to like get us back into it and catch us up on what Omega and Crosshair are up to, and it was very good. They were all very good. The third episode was phenomenal. Also, love the second episode. It's all amazing.
Yes, I put
So
a
I guess.
picture. That's just what he reminds me of.
Oh yeah, I see that. Interesting.
Don't mind the Nazi hat. The movie started off
It's
interestingly.
yeah, it's a little hard to not mind it, but I see what you mean with the
Don't mind
mask.
it. It's the same thing.
And you know, I mean,
Empire,
Empire.
Nazis.
Yeah,
Same
yeah,
thing.
same difference. um, yeah. So I guess we'll get into spoilers a little bit. I don't feel like we need to totally like recap. I said recap. That was unfortunate.
Damn.
Recap play by play for each episode. Because I assume you watched it or know what happened from the social medias if you're listening to this. We can just kind of talk about our general thoughts. So I guess we'll go through episode 1 first. I think what I love so much about this episode is, like I said, it was
Omega's hair.
Oh, Mega's hair is great. I love the cute little ponytail look. It's so good.
It's so cute. Okay, go ahead. That's all I had to say.
Well, but I think a lot of the story obviously was amazing, but the way they showed the story was so cool to me. The machine with the blood samples and whatever they're doing there.
Centrifuge thingy.
Yeah. Yeah, that word.
I know
that what that means.
Science, I think.
But like the using that as like a ticking clock was such an inspired choice that I was like obsessed with, and it was in the third episode also.
I think that's when I like actually noticed it. Was the third episode.
Yeah, and it was like, and it works in so many levels because it's so ominous, especially like when we learn more about it and we learn like towards the that third episode when it's ticking down to a mega sample being the one lined up there. But just in even before that one was just used to show the passage of time, the repetitiveness of all that they're doing there, how similar every day is, was really cool. I love the way they handled the time skip, because I think going straight to like, I think cutting straight to like that when she has the ponytail, I think we would have lost out on a lot, but still seeing her like in those early days of the imprisonment where she's like, still settling in, still a bit more energetic, I guess, with all of this, still trying to talk to Crosshair in the hallway and like everything, was that. And I thought they did a really good job at showing the progression of how things go, like her relationship with Crosshair, like even though we don't see her, I think they said today on Twitter it was 125 days she was in Mount Tantus with Crosshair, and we didn't see her go to Crosshair 125 times. We only saw it I think like twice, like in that first episode, but we saw, like we could tell how that relationship had progressed in that time. We saw how her relationship with Batcher, which is the cutest name, and I love Batcher.
I just like that she put together Bad and Batch.
Yes.
But then had her accent at the end. It was like, Batcha.
Yes. Yeah, I loved like that relationship, and I think that was also a very classic Star Wars moment, a very Ezra moment of showing kindness to another being is ultimately what saves the day in the end, which is in episode 3. But I just think in general it was a really good show of the progression that happened without us having to sit through it 125 times. Like I think the way they showed it felt very natural without being repetitive. I enjoyed it a lot. It was so good. And also her doing the tally marks reminded me so much of Rey. I think like she's in a very kind of similar position where it's like she's, taken from her family, and she's counting down the days, hopeful that they'll come get her. But eventually, she is the one that has to free herself from no fault of her family's, obviously.
Yeah.
But for both Rey
Her
and
family is
Omega.
trying.
Yes. But it was very interesting. And yeah, I just love that first episode so much. So good.
I like I don't how do you like Emery?
Yes, Emery Carr.
Yeah, I liked her a lot. It, it just I don't I'm not entirely sure. I mean, I think it's because she thinks that she's doing the right thing, especially because
Mm-hmm.
she's been told this thing and she has been told not to question and this is that, and that like throughout all of the episodes she's slowly kind of getting a soft spot for Omega.
Mm-hmm.
Um which is I think it's really cute because again like she has siblings and she has like the Bad Batch. Um and so I like that she hopes that she can get Emery to like join her or at least help her in these things. I think it's really cute. I as much as I am not a very hopeful person, I like how hopeful Omega is and
Mm-hmm.
how much she doesn't want to give up on Crosshair, which I think is a big step for me because I would have been like, ditch him.
I
Who
I'm
cares?
I'm aware. I
Ditch her.
remember.
Who cares? um, so I think it's really cute and it breaks my heart because I'm always like something's gonna go wrong. You poor girl. It's out of your hands. It's Star Wars' hands now.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, and Emery Carr is so interesting because she's such a mystery. Like she's a clone. She's a full-grown, Omega. It's like how does she fit into? Because she,
Which she looks so
it
much
seems.
like her with her ponytail.
Yeah, well, yes, but it's like it's unclear. Like Emery doesn't seem to see the other clones as siblings the way that Omega does. Like, what's her connection? Or is she rapid age, or was she made so much long before the other clones? Like, why does she have a last name? Why does Hemlock call her by her name when he doesn't call any other clone by their name? Um, there's so much of her as a mystery, and I'm really excited to hopefully learn a little bit more about her this season and see like what her whole deal is. She's also like, like she seems very conflicted to me. Like I think she genuinely cares about Omega, I think.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But she's also loyal to the Empire, presumably because that's all she seems to know. Um, so it's like, she has like these competing motivations that I think are going to make her really interesting as a player going forward. And, because she's also like, dedicated to the science and what they're doing and everything. And,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Also,
That's what. Oh.
Malase is a real one for destroying the Omega samples.
Yeah, but okay. So I get it. It's great. Love that for her. My thing is like I would be curious, like as a scientist, as Emery or Hemlock, I would be curious about Omega Sample because it's technically different from all the other clones. Um, I just, which is why I'm kind of confused on why no one checked up on that, or at least like Emery knows that she's taking blood samples from Omega like every day, so like and the fact that it's not coming up in reports because
Mm-hmm.
she's deleting it and then it's discarding it, like how why.
Yeah, I think it's a very early symptom of the problems we see the Empire having in Andor, where everything is so big and there's so many hands in everything
That's fair.
that the
Mm-hmm.
small details get mixed. I mean, the Empire was actively looking for Cassian while he was in one of their prisons, and
True.
I think it's kind of a similar thing where there's so, like, that facility is huge. There's so much going on. They're taking so many samples. There's so many clones in there, And, like if, it's like, yeah, maybe Omega doesn't pop up her, there's not a file on her if they go look for it. But if Emery's like, hey, now let's say, how did Omega's sample go? Oh, same as the others, nothing yet. Okay. Like,
Yeah.
especially because I think they're so, I don't want to say they're trusting of Nalise because they're clearly not, but I think they're so confident that they won with her. They're like, ha, we have Omega. She's going to do whatever we want. And they're so overconfident in that they're not seeing what's happening right under their nose.
True.
That's my
I'm
take
just
on
curious
it.
because, like, in my head, I would be like, I'm curious. So what is? I want to see Omega's stuff,
Mm-hmm.
but
Well, and
I
it is
guess
also, maybe it also, like, I mean, I'm sure Emery put some samples in of her own, maybe. And so Omega's sample not being anything special maybe isn't such a big deal. If they're like, well, Emery's wasn't either, so it makes sense.
True.
But then it also begs the question, why is Omega's sample so much better at retaining the midichlorian count? And why did Nalise already know that? Like,
Well, I'm sure. Well, that's the
the
whole
really
mystery with Nalise, I think.
right. But it's like what it does, kind of beg the question that ever since season 1 it's been like what, this sounds terrible, but like why was Omega created? Like what was
What's so special about Omega?
well, no, but like what was her purpose and
Yeah.
what I mean, I think it was Cut LaQuaine said it in season 1. He's like, like the Kaminoans don't just like do stuff to have fun. Like they're not just gonna make a little kid to be a lab assistant. Like there's gonna be
Some
kind of
reason.
purpose, some kind of experiment happening, and it's what was Omega's, and is Omega gonna use the Force? Everyone uses the Force.
I was gonna say if I could have like one character that doesn't need to use the Force, that would be a breath of fresh air.
But yeah, so it's interesting, and I mean, obviously, all this ties into Rise of Skywalker. We know where it's going. They're trying to make a Palpatine clone that can use the Force, because, the Force is a mystical energy force, and it doesn't just, like to do what it tells you to all the time, or do what you tell it to all the time. So, like, if Palpatine's making a clone, it's not going to inherently be Force sensitive. So they're figuring out.
So then, do you think what they're working on is his son that is like his son that's in the later movies, or you think like Snoke, or you think like just any of it maybe?
I feel like all of it was part of the process to get to the Palpatine we see in Rise of Skywalker, right? Like, I think it was like in Shadows of the Sith, Dathan was like a failed Palpatine clone. Like, I don't think he could use the Force as easily. And so it is it's all part of that. I think I don't know how Snoke quite fits into it. I know he's connected. I haven't read enough comics to know the details, to be totally honest.
I haven't either.
I've read a lot of books, but I'm so woefully behind on the comics. So yeah, I'm not sure. I'm sure it's in a comic. I just don't know. And I was probably in the Kylo Ren one or something. Probably. He's probably in his car being like, it's in this issue of this comic, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah. Sorry, Sal. You can come on the show and explain it to us.
Yeah. We could drink wine and Dad can explain it to us.
Oh.
We can do that now.
I can't do wine, though. I can't. I haven't found a wine I liked.
You like sweet wine, or you like dry wines? We have to discuss this.
I've tried a couple wines, and I'm not a fan. I haven't
What's
been a fan of any of them.
Which ones?
I don't know. People give me this, like, here, wine, try it. I'm like, okay.
Who is giving you wine? I want to be friends with them.
People, I don't know, work and school and
That's fair.
No, I mean, it's like, you're at a party and it's like, oh, here, try this wine. I'm like, you can have it, Like, I have 7. I'm like,
but then how am I gonna send you like Skywalker Ranch wine?
I'll try it. I haven't tried that one. I'll try it. I
So
just.
like no wines at all.
I.
You've never
I.
even been like, maybe.
I mean, it's not like I'm like, ew, this is disgusting. Like, I'm gonna spit it out. I'm just like, I don't know if I'd willfully, like, drink all, like, I don't know if I'd willfully drink a bunch of those
Okay, then you can take shots of tequila or something.
Okay.
We will
Oh,
drink.
gosh, tequila.
We will drink wine.
Sure, I'll do, yeah. Whatever you want to do. You can do it.
My
You
dad.
can do whatever
No.
you want. I'll do whatever I want. And we'll leave it at
My
that.
dad's just gonna question you the entire time. Yeah. Well, what ship is this? Wrong. Shot.
Okay. Yeah.
That's
Listen.
what my dad did on my birthday. But it was beer.
I can beat many a person in Star Wars trivia. Not your father. Ever.
He's special. Anyway. Yeah. But I don't like the name Project Necromancer.
Oh yeah. But
I
that's
hate
the
it.
name they used in Mandalorian. So it's like it's all coming together.
Yeah.
I mean, it's what they're doing.
I know. I don't know why, but that word gives me the ick.
I mean, it's, a person who raises people from the dead, so it's kind of icky.
Yeah, which is fine. But like the word necromancer is like, ew, why? Ew.
I don't follow.
Okay. But
Okay.
I love Batcher. I think her little lunchbox is so cute. And then she makes like a hay toy. And it's so cute.
StarWars.com just posted a little like DIY like craft instructions to do.
So first get hay.
Yes.
Put it in your lunchbox every day. And it'll just appear.
Yeah. Yeah, that was so. I definitely teared up when she first pulled it out. I was like, that's the cutest thing. And it's also like, I mean, we've seen Omega grow so much through these seasons, but she is also, just a kid still. And it's like, it was a strong reminder of that. Like, even though she's like awesome and like shooting people and like crushing droids under boxes, like
planning
she was also
escapes.
a kid who wants a toy. And it's like,
Which I think is like even sweeter when Emily, I don't know, takes it away and is like, I'm gonna discard it. And I was like, no, you jerk. And then she comes back and like gives it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh, okay, fine. I like you again. It's all right.
Yeah. I guess we were like kind of talking about because 1 and 3 go together. Like 2 kind of breaks it up. So we're talking about 3 now too, kind of. So we'll like do that and then go back to 2. But 3 was also really good. We got to see. I think Omega and Crosshair's relationship very, very quickly was super endearing. It's something we've seen so little of in previous seasons. And like I was on board like immediately. I was like, yes, like yes.
Yeah, I thought it was cute, especially because Crosshair is me with kids. Like get out of here, go away. You're only making it worse. Like blah blah blah. But then he's like, okay, well you got us this far. Like that was super cute. And I was tearing up just a little bit at that part.
Right. Yeah, and it's it's like Crosshair is definitely like kind of playing this tough guy, right? Like he's kind of trying to act like himself, like pre-character development, but we know how much he's grown. So it is like, he's like arguing with Omega's like, no, this is a stupid plan. Don't do this. Just leave me behind. Like, just go. But then as soon as Omega's like, no, just do this. It's fine. Immediately, he's like, okay, like I'm doing this, I guess. Like I'm distracting from Stormtrooper, which is so funny.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. Like, well, I'm gonna grab your gun. Yeah, how? That was hilarious. I would have died on spot if I was that Stormtrooper.
Yeah, I mean, actually, because he would have probably shot you, but yeah.
I would have died before he shot me.
uh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, and their whole escape was it was really tense. Cause like, I and it's that's like the thing with a few exceptions. A lot of recent Star Wars, like Andor or Obi-Wan, or like even Tales of the Jedi, is a lot about characters that we know have to survive to the next thing. You know, like it's always like like it's stressful, but it's also like, okay, well, I know you're gonna survive at least, so it's fine. And we don't know that about anyone in the Bad Batch,
Yeah,
except like
well,
Rex. So it's
my
really,
boy.
yeah. So it's really really scary. Very tense to watch. Um, but it was also interesting. Also, like Palpatine's there. Oh, and I loved Omega being like, "Okay, we'll just steal Palpatine's ship then." Like,
Yeah,
girl,
I was.
I kind of wanted them to do it though. I was like, you know what? If anyone can do it, it's Omega. Like we're
Yeah,
being so
they
real
they
right now.
they said that. I was like, girl, no,
I mean, Palpatine
please,
wasn't there. Um, but
no. But the thought of that and the thought of her pulling it off because she would have is astounding to me.
yeah. Um, but uh they did it. They got out into the woods and they were chased, and it was like every second of that episode was so good. Like we're learning so much about what the Empire's up to because they're doing a million things right now, and we're learning so much about like little things like Omega memorize all the plans because Tech forced her to memorize them, and she so Crosshair says like let's do this plan, and they do it, and they work together really well as a team,
Mhm.
and they're very coordinated even though they haven't really worked together before, which was super cool.
I like that she
And
took the dog home.
yes, and they took the dog. Dude, Wrecker is gonna love that thing. I'm telling you right now. I really need that Wrecker and Batcher meeting so
Mhm.
bad.
It's. I love Batcher. Batcher's cute.
It was also
I
a cool
didn't.
full circle moment because like the first scene of the first episode was that ship crashing, and then that's where
Mhm.
they go, and it was like, oh, like it all connects in the end.
Yeah, I thought it was funny because like the guy Hemlock's like, well, you just doomed him. Like that was mean. That was like like the more
Mm,
evil thing to say to this kid who thinks that she just like helped this this animal.
right.
Like I know was the complete point that he was trying to do, but I was like, that's low.
But I
Like
think it
even
was so
Thrawn wouldn't do that.
he was. I don't know. Thrawn might,
Well,
to be
maybe.
honest.
But like
Um, I think it was so important though that he was wrong. Like Batcher
yeah.
was awesome. Batcher kicked the stormtrooper butt, dude, and like he came and saved them, and that is what it was. Omega's kindness that really saved her and Crosshair, both in terms of her having Crosshair with her to help, and then with Batcher, and I think that's awesome.
Yeah, it's cute. But yeah,
And
I love
Crosshair's
that.
so
I
good.
just again, I just like that she took him with her.
Yeah. I'm really excited to see where what Crosshair and Omega are gonna do. I assume they're gonna be looking for Hunter and Wrecker, but when they also have to stay under the radar, and then Hunter and Wrecker are obviously looking for them, but they have to stay under the radar. So it'll be really interesting. Like I'm kind of worried Hunter and Wrecker are gonna go to Tantus and break in, and then be like, oh, they're not here. Okay,
Yeah,
and
that's
then
gonna suck. They have to go back.
yeah. So it's
Um,
I'm, you know And in true Bad Batch fashion, I am hoping for some Omega Crosshair little adventures along the way.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think that's such an interesting dynamic, and also they have a doggy now, so there's that.
Yes.
But I think they have such an interesting dynamic where all Crosshair wants her to do is give up on him, and that is the only thing Omega refuses to do. And I think that creates such an interesting relationship, because then you also have, Omega's a kid, and Crosshair has that paternal Jango Fett gene that he's going to have to be protective over her. But then also she's going to protect him, and it's like this. I think it'll be a very mutually beneficial relationship for both of them. And it's really exciting to see Crosshair back interacting with the Batch. I think his time away from the Batch was so necessary for him and his arc. But
I think I'm I'm sad for him because of his hands
yeah.
that he will no longer be able to. Well, I'm sure he could snipe, but probably not very well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, cause that's messed up.
Yes.
Like for episode 2, I believe, like there's those kids, and one of the kids was like, "Well, we're clones. Like that's like war is all we know." And I was like, "All right, sit down, kid. You didn't even like go through the war yet. Like you have time. Chill out. It's okay."
Yeah.
But like the fact that Crosshair of course he's not only good at sniping, but like that is like his trademark and his whole thing. That must severely suck.
Yeah.
And I thought it was just a thing where he was just like shaking because he was worried, like the first time we saw it, and then the second time where they're trying to escape and she points it out again. I was like, oh, this is permanent. I see.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so that's kind of sad.
Hey, we don't know it's permanent. They got good doctors in a
Well,
galaxy far, far away.
yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's very sad, but I also think so much of Crosshair's arc was about learning who he is without the things that people tell him he's good for. Like learning who he is outside of being a soldier and all of this. So it's, I don't know, an almost necessary part of his arc, I think. And I don't know, I'm so excited for. I think some of his episodes were probably some of my favorites of the last season, and I'm really excited to see where it goes. If and when they get to reunite with the rest of the batch, and and I'm scared for Pabu because we know in the trailer bad things are gonna happen there. But if
Yeah.
Pabu comes out the other end, I think Crosshair deserves a spot on Pabu.
Yes.
For sure.
Those poor kids.
Yeah, and I guess it's a perfect segue in episode 2.
Yeah.
Which I really loved. It was, I think, just, they released an odd number of episodes, so someone got less than the other plotline. One plotline got less than the other plotline, and that was this one. But I really enjoyed this episode. I think seeing Hunter and Wrecker and how desperate they have become in their search, and how they've kind of gone through like a role reversal. Like Hunter is like, we gotta leave, we gotta go right now, we have to go right now. And Wrecker's like, well, hold on. Like Echo and Rex said they'll be ready in a few days. Like if we wait for them. And Hunter's like, no, we gotta go now, we gotta go now. And it's so interesting because traditionally it was Hunter was the planner and the leader, and Wrecker was the I want to go thin and blow things up kind of guy. So it's interesting to see that role reversal. And
It's sad.
it's sad, but it's so interesting.
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
yeah. And I enjoyed the clone kids. That was something when they kind of evacuated Camino. We didn't really see we didn't see them like rounding up clone kids as much. Like it was mostly focused on the adult clones, but it was like, oh yeah, like they were still little ones.
They're little guys there.
Little guys. And I think that's such an interesting idea. I love seeing these characters because it is like, the clones, the adult clones, like they were created for war and they have all those complicated feelings about that, but they got to do it, and then they're discarded and all that, and it's terrible. But the kids, they're created for war, and they're told, this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna grow, and then you're gonna do this, and this is like what it looks like. This is what your life looks like. This is what it's gonna be like, and they're told that, and then it just stops. Like they just, and they're still kids, and they're discarded. And what do they do? And that's really interesting and really, really sad.
I like the fact that I hated that they were like, we should leave. And I was like, I will kill these kids myself.
Oh gosh.
But then, like, I liked that one of them was like, well, they're literally going to help their own teammate. Like, none of the other clones did that for us.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I loved that so much because I was like, that is true. And it's so cute because they were literally abandoned. So I thought it was cute. And I was like, please make correct choices.
Yeah. Yeah, and those, I really liked, each of the kids kind of their own little personalities. Like there was one kid who seemed maybe a bit older, played by Daniel Logan. Who was the, like, kind of sort of leader that the other kids looked to, but then they still, like, I forget their names, but then the one kid was like, he went against the other two. He's like, no, I'm going to go with them. Like, I'm going to help them. They're looking for a member of their squad. And it's cool. Also, the tree tentacle monster things.
Yeah.
Horrible.
I couldn't see it.
Why are there so many tentacles? Can we not? Are we done? Can we, like, as a society, move past tentacles? Like, I'm over it. Like,
no.
It needs to... Okay.
No. Not with the internet lately. No.
I don't know what that means, and I don't want to know.
No, but I couldn't see anything.
Yeah.
I just saw, like, a vine, and I was like, what the hell is that?
Yeah.
And then it looked like a tongue, and I was like, whoa. And then there were little face huggers, and I was like, huh?
It was weird, man. I didn't like it.
Yeah, I don't like Hemlock.
It was giving, like, the Drengir in the High Republic. They're not Drengir. I'm not saying they are before anyone corrects me. But
my dad furiously typing right now.
Delete the text. But yeah, it's I don't know. It's interesting, and now I'm just, like, spitballing, right? But
you think those were so go ahead.
Oh, sorry, but, like, so the Drengir in the High Republic are, like, these tree monster guys that try to, like, kill you, basically. That's, the whole vibe. I mean, not, there's more to it than that, but, like, that's, the gist. But it's so interesting because then these are also tree monsters that try to kill you, but the Drengir were kind of like dark force being things, where these are like science experiments that got out of control. So it's, I don't know, I'm just with, the fact that the Bad Batch is connecting to Rise of Skywalker, and they said it would connect backwards too, I'm like, and maybe, this specifically isn't going to get expanded on, like, this is like, tree monsters, okay, we're not going to talk about that anymore, it's like, fair. But, like, what if they're, in the record somewhere, they talked about the Drengir and how they were really scary and not easy to fight. And Dr. Hemlock read the book, and he was like, interesting, I wonder if I can make that. And did kind of, they took over the planet.
Attempted.
They, like, ruined this planet with these, like, stupid tree monsters. Like, their science experiment got out of hand. It's like, I guess we can't just go to, like, no one can go to this planet anymore. We ruined it. Sorry, everyone. Like, if you liked this planet, nuh-uh. Not anymore. You're gonna die if you go
Sorry,
here.
kids. Bye.
Yeah, and they
Yeah.
blew it up and left the kids. And that's like really the like playbook of the Empire, specifically in the Bad Batch. I mean, we see it in other stuff too, but it's like a very recurring theme with the Empire and the Bad Batch. And you know, they're in their early days; they haven't refined their genocidal techniques yet. But they're like, oh, that didn't go well. Let's blow it up. Like, oh, whoops, we created a biological like weapon. Blow it up. We gotta get out of here.
Yeah, it's fine.
Just
Let's
bomb
go.
it.
Get rid of it.
uh,
Yeah, it's just sloppy, I guess.
yeah, and it's interesting too because I think it's like the Empire. The Empire is always sloppy. I mean, they're a formidable villain for multiple reasons, but they're always sloppy, just in different ways. Like right now, they're still new to this whole like fascism thing. Like they're still getting used to that, so they're like they make a mistake and they just blow it up. And that's kind of like their problem right now. They're just blowing everything up. But then we get to Andor and they're not as blow everything up happy anymore. But they like lose people. Like they're hunting the Cassian Andor, their big villain for whatever's going on right now, and they're hunting him. They're looking all over the galaxy for him, and he's in their prison. They're just calling him Keith.
Yeah.
It's like it's very it's similar and different.
hmm I just didn't like whatever it was because eventually it was just like Sarlacc mixed with
Yeah.
vines.
Yeah, well, because there's just like the big vines that just try to like grab you that they first run into, and it's like, oh, that's gross. And there's like the little saplings
Facehugger things.
that like jump at you. I think those were the worst, personally. Like, I know I said I hated the tentacles, and I do, but those were the worst, actually. And then there was like tree Sarlacc. Yeah, I hate
Wait,
it.
so are the vines different from the tree Sarlacc?
No, I think they're like all connected.
Okay.
I think it's one giant like I think it's all one giant like organism or something. I don't know, man.
You don't got the answers?
I watched the same episode you did. I watched it in the dark because my dad and I got up at like 4:30 a.m. to watch it. So I did watch it in the dark. I did see more than you, but
I was probably at work at that time.
well, at that time it would have been 1:30 for you. So
I was almost getting up to go to work soon.
ah, I see. When do you have to be at work?
Well, I can't drive yet. I mean, I can, but now I don't have my own car. So I have to technically go when Chris goes, and Chris goes at like 4, and it's about a 20-minute drive. So I get up around like 3 or 2.
Oh.
And then for me, I just like go back to sleep in the car, but I like 5, I guess, usually.
I see. I see.
Yeah.
Very early.
Yeah. Like I like 2 days ago, I left work and like I'm always inside, and that day I like especially stayed inside cuz it was so busy. And then I went outside and it was like, it was like 2:30, and I was like, "Oh my god, the sun. My eyeballs. It hurts so bad."
Oh wow.
Yeah. But anyway, um yeah.
Yeah.
Uh
Trying to think what other things to say about episode
Sarlacc.
2. It's so good.
I like that they were like, "You know what? We're looking for one kid. How about we get 2 more?"
Yeah. 3 more. They got 3 more kids.
3. Yeah, I was going to say, wait a second. Yeah, one of them did not die. 3 more.
Yeah, I have to say, I was high key stressed they're gonna drop Gonki. Like,
Yeah, he
when
was
they
like
were
taking like
running
a
back,
backpack everywhere.
I was like, when they were like, I was like, oh no, they're gonna lose Gonki. I was like, I don't think emotionally I can handle losing Gonki. Like losing Tech was so bad. I think losing Gonki would push me over the edge, like straight up. And then so they were like running away. I'm like, oh my god, what if they leave Gonki behind? And then when they were going up the cable, and Hunter was like, one of them was like, we need more firepower, shooting the tree Sarlacc. And I was like, oh my gosh, Gonki's a battery. What if they drop him in a blow? I was like freaking out like for a solid 15 seconds, and they're like, grab the box of explosives. I was like, okay, thank God, Gonki's okay.
Yeah,
I was
I
so
would have been
stressed,
so
man.
bad at that. They would have been like, find the box of explosives. I would have looked the entire ship and be like, where?
I know
Where?
that's why the Bad Batch needs a mom to find
Yeah,
everything.
they
Um,
found it eventually, but like,
yeah.
I would have been like,
So yeah, I'm also really excited to see Rex and Echo again. Um, cause I miss Echo and Rex, and I want to know what they're doing and why they're not with Hunter and Wrecker. Um, and yeah, I think it's interesting because obviously Echo cares a lot about Omega, but you know Hunter and Wrecker are solely focused. Like everything they're doing is to get to Omega again, and you know Echo is still doing the Rex stuff. Presumably the clone. I don't know. I don't know what to call it. Support network does not seem right, but like the clone stuff
yeah.
they're doing. Um, and that's really interesting. Also, my girl Ryo, she's still helping. What's she doing? Uh,
Hmm.
I'm so excited for so much to potentially happen. Um, in the season, I think I'm so hyped. It's gonna be so good.
Yes.
Uh, and Crosshair and Omega are out on the town,
I want
and
more tech. Um, like,
hey, you
like
never
I don't know
know.
why, but the no, like even if he doesn't come back, the mentions of him would be
Mm-hmm.
very nice. Especially, I don't know, like, I just felt so sad, but like in a happy way when she was like, yeah, tech made me like memorize all of them. And then like he didn't need to say anything. They didn't need to put in the script for him to say anything. But the fact that he said, "Of course he did," was the cutest thing possible. And I was like, my baby, my baby's gone. My grown man baby.
um, yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, and the shot of his goggles on the console in the Marauder were, but yeah, yeah. I think even if Tech doesn't come back, I think the fact that he's so clearly, his lack of presence is such an important part of the show still. Like we feel it, when we see Hunter getting frustrated over the datapad stuff because Tech always did that.
Yeah.
It's we see all that, and I think that's the weight of his loss is such a shadow over everything going on, and I think it shows how important he was, and that's I think such a cool thing. Very sad thing,
Yeah.
but very well done.
Thanks, Lucasfilm. But yeah. My poor boy.
Yeah, so there's a lot to look forward to this season. Stuff we don't know is gonna happen. Stuff we do know, like Ventress is gonna be there. Um,
Hmm.
that's awesome.
I I'm so my dad wasn't explaining anything, and I can't tell if I caught him out of like he was in shock, kind of like not talking, kind of. I don't know. Uh, where are we in the timeline? Like, would she still be alive? No,
Okay,
right?
I got you. So yeah, we're after Order 66, obviously, and she died before Order 66. But
Okay.
so we don't know what's going on. But Brad Rao, one of the writers or producers, he said that it lines up with the events of Dark Disciple in an interview with StarWars.com. So whatever is happening, they're not just like Dark Disciple, throw it in the trash. Like
Yeah.
they
No.
said it lines up. They made a point to line it up.
With how much people were getting mad about stuff like that, like I can see why they probably weren't gonna do that. But uh,
So I
but
don't
I was
know.
still like, what up, huh?
Yeah. Hey, listen. She died on the planet where they raise people from the dead all the time.
I'm
So
not. That's the thing is, I'm not like that's ridiculous, but I'm also like, well, wait, huh? Wait, because I was just caught off guard so much that I was like, that's interesting. And also, I guess it like could be a flashback, but I have no idea.
I don't know. I'm excited for more Ventress on my screen. We have not had Ventress on our screen for so long.
Yes.
I'm excited, regardless of how it goes. We know we're getting some Fennec this season, some more Cad Bane, Wolf. Wolf's gonna be there. I hope Cody is in it. Cody, spare Cody, please, spare Cody. Um, and some maybe some Ryo Chuchi. I'm so excited. I'm like so hyped, thinking like this is gonna be the next many weeks. Ah, it's gonna be amazing. I'm very hyped.
Yes.
So we have to wait till next week to find out what happens. I feel like it's gonna be a Hunter and Wrecker episode. I think they're gonna flip flop.
Hunter and Record. Oh yes. No, that would make
That's my
sense.
guess.
I'm sure they will be able to like contact them too through the new shuttle that they have.
Right, but you know, I'm just wondering because like Wrecker and Hunter are trying to stay off the grid, so it's like it's gonna be harder to reach out to them. You know, and it's also like the reason they got Crosshair's message last season was because like Tech happened to look at old frequencies, and Tech's not there to look at old frequencies anymore. So it's like, what is, you know, what's it gonna be? What's gonna happen? I'm scared. Yeah.
That makes sense. Hopefully, but I guess we will see.
Yes. Um. Yeah. So an amazing start to the Bad Batch season 3. And yeah, we'll be here to talk about it. So if you want to find Star Wars Geek Girl stuff, go to starwarsgeekgirl.com. Twitter and Instagram are at SWGeekGirl, and the Facebook page is Star Wars Geek Girl. I'm doing better with the keeping up on the website now. I'm like got a system, like doing better. Which I say
Nice.
being late on posting today's article right now, but I'm gonna finish writing it as soon as we get off. I promise. Yeah, and then if you want to follow me personally, I'm on Instagram and TikTok at Spectre_5, and I'm on Twitter is at Azoika.
I personally do not have much except TikTok, and I haven't even posted anything there because I am in a severe art block that has been happening ever since college, and I'm very sad about it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm trying to get back into it. But the Rogue Rebels plugs. We're gonna be doing an episode soon about the Bad Batch as well, either today or tomorrow. I don't know. So you can find us at theroguerebels.com, Instagram and TikTok at The Rogue Rebels, Twitch at Rogue Rebels, podcast wherever you're listening to Star Wars Geek Girl, Facebook page The Rogue Rebels, Twitter at Rogue Rebels Fam. My dad has been doing a lot of book reviews on stuff. He's been posting a lot of TikTok stuff about the books that he's been reviewing and stuff like that. The only things that we've been really talking about and we've been lacking because of me is like a lot of more Afro stuff because I'm actually reading the comics, but I haven't in a while because at least before, like when I was reading them, I was in my dad's actual house and I was like but now I have an apartment and now I'm like, well, I have this to work on. I have this to work on. And I have this. And then I've tossed it aside. That's my bad. But Afra's really cool and I'm slowly getting into it and I heard that it just ended. So now I have like, at least I know it's not going to keep going and keep going, keep going. Then I'll never catch up. But yeah. That's cool.
Yes, and I would really recommend for Star Wars Geek Girl, you listen to some recent episodes. I got to do an interview with Christina Ariel, who does a High Republic show, and is just an all-around amazing person, an absolute like beacon of light and positivity in the Star Wars community. And it was so much fun to talk to her, and I think it'll be really fun to listen to. And then, if you are interested in a not Star Wars podcast, you can listen to me yap,
Ooh.
as the kids say, about Overwatch lore
Skibbity.
for 3 hours.
Oh my god.
To
Oh my god, we missed the entire thing. Keep going. I'll remember.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I was just it was 2 parts. I did a show, and there's video if you're interested in watching video. Okay. Of me explaining Overwatch lore to my dad. I had a slideshow, and I had like 30 some pages of notes. So if you are interested in learning about Overwatch lore or just hearing me talk about it, that is there if you have 3 hours.
Heard. I'm sad I wasn't a part of that.
You were busy.
But I know. I know I was busy. But I'm still sad about it. I'm gonna go watch it though. Does that include recent things?
That includes everything that has come out up to when we recorded.
Okay.
So every comic, every short story. I haven't read all the novels. I'm working on the novels, but I included the information from the novels I could find online. Every animated short, all the missions. It's all in there.
Heard. I just need the somber parts.
There's I talk about some Sombra. I talk about some everyone. Every single character actually had a slide, and there was timeline slides, and there was a lot. My dad, it was so funny. We were like probably less than halfway through. My dad goes, I didn't know there were so many characters. I thought there were like 6. Because he like only ever sees me play like Tracer, Sombra, Diva, Ash. So like, yeah.
That's
But it was
fun.
really fun. And also my dad got to like weigh in on stuff. Like he didn't know anything about Overwatch really. But so like I told him the story of Anna, and he's like, you know, that's just like this like real life World War II story. And I was like, what? So it was like cool, you know, to talk about it with someone who didn't know anything about Overwatch. And then I also included Star Wars connections. So like, you know, like Alyssa Wong has written for Overwatch. Like Matt Mercer voices Cassidy, and he also does some voices for, you know,
Wrecking Ball. Not him, but like.
Yeah,
but I'm mentioning Wrecking Ball.
Wrecking Ball, the hamster, is every clone ever. And yeah, so there's like I was like making a lot of like fun Star Wars connections. So it's still somewhat Star Wars. But yeah, you can watch that if you are interested. I think Overwatch lore is pretty cool. So
yeah, I didn't know Moira was
Mon Mothma. Yeah, Mon Moira.
And I was like, that makes sense.
Okay. Here's my pitch. Okay. Are you ready for this?
I'm
Overwatch X Star Wars collab, right? Because they're doing collabs now, so they should do it. Okay.
They're doing
Hear me out.
Bebop next,
all right.
Yes.
Mon Moira skin. Okay. Cad Bane Cassidy. Diva. Okay, Diva has a skin where her mech kind of looks like the Falcon, and then she's in a little Han Solo outfit. Or even better, her mech looks like the Ghost, and she's in a little Hera outfit. Okay, Orisa can be a Bantha. All right, Farah could be a Mandalorian. Any of them.
This is really expensive.
Right? Wrecking Ball could be like a Death Star, and he could be a little Death Star technician. Or it could be like a BB-8 ball. Okay? Widowmaker. Okay, and this is like my magnum opus. Okay? Widowmaker or a Sing.
Ooh.
I mean, she's got the ponytail. Come on. Like, it works. Okay? And then like Soldier 76 could be like a stormtrooper or something. Alright? Winston Overwatt, Chewbacca. Okay, put Zenyatta in some Jedi robes. All right, there's so much.
He's the cheapest one so far.
Right. Okay, but you ready? Ready for the best one? You ready for the absolute best one? Okay. Tracer, Sabine.
Makes sense.
Right? She's got the pistols. She got the like fun short hair. Tracer, Sabine.
For Anna, I do know that I was showing my dad because I got this skin for her like a while ago, like when I first started playing Overwatch, and it was because it looks like a Mandalorian.
I know
I
what you're
forget which
talking
one
about.
it is. Yeah, I forget what it's called, but like it's just a Mandalorian. It looks like a night owl helmet. But there was something else. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. Omega, when she's escaping and she goes to the elevator and she Zenyatta kicks this poor mouse droid.
60 damage.
Yeah, like it was so sad.
I
But
know.
also, mouse droids are evil.
I felt bad for the mouse droid. You know, mouse droid is just trying to do its job, man. It's trying to like carry a message or whatever that mouse droid is
No,
doing.
they're evil.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
It was very
that's
funny.
yes, I agree. It's gonna suck for my bank account, but
Right? I just like
sounds good.
yeah. Listen, Blizzard, hit me up. You can have all my ideas.
Oh, Blizzard came over to eat at the restaurant the other day. I wasn't there because they were there for dinner, but it was Activision and another company and like Blizzard.
Well, Activision and Blizzard are like the same company.
Yeah,
yes.
no, that's why I was like in another company because there was an other separate company, but first it was like members of specifically Activision, and then it was like Blizzard. I don't know. I all I know is that like there were two separate banquets that was like Activision, and then the other one was Blizzard. So I don't. That's just what I saw, but I don't know. I thought that was interesting. I should have gone out there with your slideshow, but it's all the like Star Wars skins and be like, so this is what you should be doing right now. This is what you should be working on.
Right. Call up Lucasfilm and just do it. You know, Fortnite did it.
Mhm. Uh huh. Uh huh. I think it's funny because I've been playing Fortnite more, and you can tell like because my dad and I use the same account. You can tell when he's on and then when I'm on. Because when he's on, it's like all like Star Wars characters, and then when I play Fortnite, it's like Solid Snake, Leon Kennedy, like I think it's funny. Lady Gaga, I have now.
I was
I don't
like
want to talk
thinking about
that.
Lady Gaga, but I was like, ah, I can't justify the purchase.
I just did the festival pass because it has Black Hole Sun, and that is so random. But I want it because I love that song. But it's like obviously I want the Lady Gaga skin, but like that's like I was like not gonna get it, and then I saw that, and I was like, is that what I think it is? That shouldn't be what I think it is. So I got it.
Oh my gosh, the only festival song I have on Overwatch on Fortnite is the Weezer one. Cause I just think it's really funny to kill someone and then play Weezer. Like, get Weezer, bruh.
Yeah.
That's what you do.
I just go sell your soul to be popular. Popular. But yeah. Okay.
Alright. So yeah. What was my point originally? Go watch me talk about Overwatch lore for
Yes.
a very long time. It was very comprehensive, I think. I told a lot. I said a lot of things.
We need to quiz
And my
your dad
slideshow,
now.
by the way, my slideshow was awesome. Just saying. So, if you watch the video, you can see it. It's very cool. But yeah, lots of notes and a lot of talking. A lot of talking. I should have been more hydrated because you can definitely hear my voice like starting to die.
I have water, but I'm always dehydrated.
See, here's my dilemma, okay? I feel dehydrated. I'm like, oh man, I need to drink more water. And I drink water and I have to pee all the time, and that's just annoying. So it's like, you know, it's like, what the heck?
You don't just wait till the end of the day?
No, because that's how you get a UTI.
Nah. It's called hyperfocus.
Yeah, I'm not trying to, like, I don't know, ruin my kidneys or whatever.
Yeah, that's fair. No, I don't, like, I go to work, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to make myself coffee. Yummy, delicious coffee. Especially because they have really, really, really good oat milk, and I love oat milk with a passion, but the brand they have is so yummy. So I use that. And then I don't have to use the restroom. And I'm like, okay, whatever. And then I drink, like, sometimes the bartender's like, do you want juice? And I was like, oh, yes, I would love some juice. Like pomegranate juice with lemonade. And I drink that. And I'm like, okay, well, nothing. And then I drink water. And then, like, at the end of the day, like, at the end of my shift, I'm like, I haven't drank actual water. I should probably drink some water. And then suddenly it's like, bathroom time.
See, I'm like in the summer when I'm working and I'm outside and I'm like physically moving around a lot all day, I can drink a lot of water and not have a problem. It's when I'm working inside doing stuff, and I have to, if I drink water, I have to pee. It's like so annoying. I just don't drink water.
Yeah.
Fun life hack. Don't feel like going to the bathroom? Dehydrate yourself. Just kidding, don't do that. Don't take my advice ever.
Do
Please,
it.
don't do it. No, stop.
Do it.
Don't. Do not take my advice on hydration. Take my advice on other things, but don't do it on hydration because that is. I don't have many faults, but that is my one weak area, one of many. My hydration.
Contradicting yourself a little bit there.
Yeah, I heard it as soon as I said it, and I was hoping you wouldn't point it out, but
I'm a little too focused right now.
yeah. But you know what?
I drank
you know
some
what,
water.
I've got, I've been really consistent on like my skincare routine recently, so like I feel like it balances out, so
That's good.
yeah.
I try to do that, but I don't like doing it before I go to work because I'm like, I'm gonna get sweaty anyway. It doesn't matter. And then I come back from work and I do it. But it's the same cycle over and over and over. Anyway.
Oh my gosh. All right.
Now we're just yapping.
Yeah, now we are officially yapping. So we already did plugs and everything. So thank you so much for listening to the show. I'm glad to be back. Glad you're talking about Bad Batch. We have a lot of good Star Wars to look forward to this year too. Like, it's not just Bad Batch. We've got Acolyte coming this year, Skeleton Crew, something else. Oh, Tales of Jedi season 2, and then like other stuff like Outlaws looks awesome, and that's coming out. Like, so much stuff. And it's gonna be a very good year for Star Wars. I'm really excited. I'm so hyped for Acolyte, dude. Your dad's gonna love Acolyte. I'm telling you right now. I'm so hyped for Acolyte.
Probably.
Yeah, I can't wait for that trailer to come out. So, yes.
You should just tell us.
Well, I told you. There's a podcast where I talk all about the trailer. Okay? I just mean physically.
Tell
I don't know. Actually
more.
seeing it is different. Amanda Stenberg has an awesome haircut.
No, you gotta animate it now.
Okay. Well, that's a little bit beyond my skill. Oh my gosh. Okay. We're gonna actually wrap up. Thank you guys so much for listening. May the Force be with you. I was Zoe.
I was Lizzie.
May the Force be with you, and goodbye.
Goodbye.